Okay, good morning. What you're looking at in the opening sequence of this is my little 7 by 10 inch mini lathe. This is a recent purchase of mine, the Shar's OXA 000 tool post. It's made for these tiny lathes. I've had one problem with it, but the company is fixing that very rapidly. They have been great and very helpful and quick to help if I had a problem, which I've only had one, and it had to do with the size of my lathe, not the quality or whatever of their tooling. What I'm going to do is show you, the tool comes with the tool post comes with a parting tool holder like this. Okay, it's the angled one. It holds a 1/16 all the way up to an 1/8 inch blade, I think. And it's slanted so you can adjust the height, and it's adjustable height-wise on the tool post. The problem is, with that slant on this little tiny 7 by 10 inch lathe, you cannot get the blade high enough. So I called them and we discussed it. There's another company that has, and they've talked to their manufacturer, and they're going to make for them the same thing. One that has a level surface to hold the tool, so that the tool will not be pointed up, it will be straight across, and that will lower it enough that you can get it down on center for this little 7-inch lathe because of the tool post height. What I have done to modify it, and I discussed it with them yesterday, since they've been kind enough, I had the problem, brought it to their attention, that they're going to send me one of the new ones. They have the manufacturer producing them for them now, and as soon as they get the first ones in, I get the first one off the factory floor, and they said I would get to keep this one. So I did modify this one little bit. And what I did was, if you notice, when you put this tool post square with the compound, the edge of the tool post itself sticks out ever so slightly from the compound edge. It does the same thing if you turn it on its side. So you can put the compound 0 degrees this way, or at 90 degrees that way to the center line, and then your tool, the bottom of the V on your tool holder is out past the edge of this tool. So all I did was cut a notch on the bottom edge down below the back end, below the dovetail, deep enough this vertically so that the tool will drop below center when you lower it all the way down, and the bottom part of this tool slides down. I can't do it now because I have another tool poster on it, but I'll show you in a moment. The bottom of that tool holder goes down below the face of your compound so that you can get it down onto center. Now what I've done, I've already set it up, parted a couple of pieces off, and I'm going to demonstrate how well it works now. I'm going to face the end of this thing off so it's square. I'll lock my carriage so it doesn't move. Alright, let's take off 4 or 5 thousandths. That'll be enough. I just put this tool back in and I readjusted it. Apparently I've got it slightly above or below center. I've got just a little nub on there. I just wanted to make sure the face was square. Now I'm going to unlock my carriage and slide it out. Release this tool. Take it out. Now I'm going to put the parting tool in. Here's what I mean. The way this comes from the factory, it sits about, that's pretty level with the top of the compound. That's as low as it will go, no matter which way you turn it. By cutting that notch, I've allowed it to go down that much further and clamp it. Now I've already set this thing as parallel as I think I can. I dialed it in pretty close. I didn't bother to get it within a thousandth, but I got it pretty close. I'm going to come in and part off a little short piece. Let me lock my compound, or my carriage. And we'll start this back up. Now, I'm obviously not going to part it as fast as I put a tiny bit of oil on there. I know it's brass, but it's not going to hurt it. It's an old machine. I need to replace the bearings, but once I get enough pressure on it and I'm not afraid to feed it pretty fast, it starts parting pretty well. Spin it up a little because we're getting close to the center. And as long as you keep pressure on it, it parts pretty good. There you go. If I bring that on in, it's still probably 2 or 3 thousandths below center, but you see what I'm talking about, how well it works. And there's the wafer. Now what I'm going to do is check this with a micrometer. Oh, this is a thick one. That says 145. We'll check it around. That's got to be even, you would think. 145. 145. 145. Now if I go to the center, 146. 145 and a half. That had to be a chip in there because that said like 149. Yeah, 145 and a half. Well, I know what I was doing. I was getting in far enough that I was hitting the nub on the left on the front. $146, 145 and a half, 146. So with just a rough centering height, and I still haven't dialed my blade in completely yet. That cut that nice little wafer off, and you heard the chatter, but that's because I wasn't feeding fast enough. You got to slow it down a little bit, or I need to slow it down a little bit and get a harder, faster feed. That's what takes my chatter away, is if you get a good load on that blade so it's not wiggling. Plus this thing's a little bit out of round to start with. But that's the modification I made to that parting tool holder from Shar's. They're correcting that, but if you have one of these machines, that's your temporary fix until they get the new ones in stock. And I was talking to them yesterday and working with them. They're going to offer, they're not sure how they're going to do it, but they're going to offer the new parting tool holder as an option. They don't know if they're going to do it with the original set or leave it out and have you purchase this separately, which one you need, or if they're going to just offer it as an additional purchase. They'll figure that out later. That's a marketing thing, but I've talked to them and they have solved the mechanical problem, and they have the new ones on order. It should be about 6 weeks when they get the first batch of them. And they didn't order just one, they ordered a bunch. So there you go. The only problem with this solution is you have to have your compound either 90 degrees or 90 degrees to the carriage or 90 degrees to the cross slide. You can't have it at any angle. Like if you're cutting threads and you have to have it over 29 and a half, to cut your threads, you can't put the parting tool in this holder on and use it in that position. It's just too far out of whack. There you go. If you have any questions, you can contact me at cwolf, CWOLF as in Frank, S as in Sam, 69 at gmail.com. Thank you. Have a nice day.